adversity we go through, no matter what is going on. Like I said, he has a Mamba mentality, just always trying to strive to be the best. Daryl, like I said, I don't know what else to say about him other than he's just exceptional, right? He has birthed something that he's birthed. This is his baby. And I have no doubt that everything that he does, because he's a business genius, like he's so smart. Like if you even think about the name that he gave the network, right? Infinite. That means there's infinite possibilities. There's infinite money to be made. There's just infinite, there's no end to it. And that's what I really, really love about our network. So my name is Sherry Ann Francis, known on social media as Sherry Francis, 850 Credit Queen. But I want to get myself out the way and let you guys get introduced to the man of the hour, the man who is bringing you all this information, bringing us so much value. Like I said, guys, if you're on this call, you're going to be blessed. You're going to get information that you probably never already knew, because these two guys coming up, they're just total genius. So Daryl, can you hear me? Did you make it to the call?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Definitely want to give it back to Miss Sherry. It's been such a pleasure being in partnership with her since we first met. You know, she's been a rock star. She said some great things about me, but you know, I mean, she's been a straight rock star in this industry as well. You know, she's a phenomenal leader, very intellectual. You know, she's in the education field, and you know, she has a caring heart, just a good, loyal person. I'm just blessed to even be in partnership with her 100%. So definitely excited to be on here tonight to share with you guys some more awesome information. If this is your first time on a call, just to give you guys a brief background upon who I am. You know, I've been in this space a little bit over 5 years now. You know, I was one of those people who had horrible credit. We didn't learn about, you know, credit and financial literacy in school. You know, back in 2017, I had a 450 credit score. You know, it took me 6 months to get to a 700 from signing up with another company or what have you. And I was so ecstatic because that completely changed my life, right? It just opened up doors to so many other opportunities. You know, the places I live, you know, I went and got a condo, I went and got a new Mercedes. I was able to leverage credit to make other investments or what have you, you know, and I was really so passionate about it. I started telling all my friends and family for free. That was back before I even started making money doing it, you know what I mean? Fast forward to 2020, me and Sherry, we was inside of a company. You know, I had a lot of success within a short period of time, you know, made multiple 6 figures with that company. We built a really strong team, had a phenomenal culture. Unfortunately, that company shut down last year. So it's basically been a year journey of, you know, just from the expertise that we built up and the network and the connection I was able to, you know, connect people I was able to connect with to put this opportunity together just to help as many people as possible as far as fixing personal credit, business credit, getting approved for funding, and also earn extra income as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna just jump off into this real quick. I want to show you guys a few things because I know you guys have been calling with some questions or what have you. Everyone should receive a welcome email. Once you signed up with your affiliate link, you're going to have your own back office, right? So once you log in, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so starting off first and foremost, you can see that you're automatically on the Infinite Freedom Wealth Network campaign. That's where you're going to be able to offer the personal credit services and the business credit services, right? And get the 30% commission upfront and residually. And whatever affiliate you refer over, you get 10% from their customers. We know that most companies charge affiliates 300 to 500 to even start, and then you have to pay a monthly fee. And on top of that, you don't make any money off of customers that you sign up. You only make money by signing up other affiliates that have to pay. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it free for affiliates to join so people can, you know, you're in the business trying to make money. You're not trying to, a lot of people lose more money than they even make by joining some platforms like this. And you're also able to earn more commission from the customers that you sign up as well. So here, this is where you can actually submit leads. If you just type in a lead email, it'll send them over information and send them over your referral link where you will get credit for it. If you go down here, you can see the different links. Let's say you don't want to send a person the whole website. You just want to send them straight over where they can sign up to become a credit repair customer, right? You can send them over the credit repair enrollment link. So if you see here, your name is going to be at the end of it. And that's how we're able to keep track that is actually your client or what have you. And Yeah, so you can send them over to the membership page where they can choose the membership, the credit repair enrollment, or the business credit enrollment link. Over here is just where you can keep track of everything that's going to be going on, within the last 30 days, as far as how many clicks you got on your website, how many signups you got, how many customers you have. You're going to be able to keep track of how much money you're earning on a residual basis as well. And this is just where those leads that you submit over, you'll be able to keep track of them. Right here, the rewards is basically where you'll just be able to keep track of all your customers, whether they're active or deactive. And here's where you can sign up your sub affiliates and also keep track of your sub affiliates and see the customers that they sign up, because remember, you're getting 10% off of these customers that's in this sub affiliate area. So this will be a separate link. On the dashboard, that's your website link to sign up customers. This is the link so you can sign up affiliates. And here is obviously where you want to, keep track of the money. This is the most important part, right? And the assets, this is where we're going to have a lot of marketing material. Me and Sherry and some other leaders were putting together like basically a course that's going to help an affiliate from start to finish, everything you need to know as far as signing someone up, as far as how to market the business, how to close clients. Everything you need to know is going to be right here in this marketing asset area. And just to go over the website, I'm pretty sure you guys probably checked it out, but this is just the home page, just kind of giving a brief overview upon what exactly the platform consists of. Go to the About Us page, it tells about the, more details about what it is that we stand for. The credit optimization, this is basically where they can look at the credit repair services that we offer and tell them about the process. You have the business credit page as well. This is going to show them a video and give them an overview upon what our software entails. And Mark is going to go more in depth upon the business credit software. And also, obviously, you guys have the funding. So I have this set up, whereas it's automatically going to take the client back to you so you can send them over your FundWise funding link. Because otherwise, if funding was set up here, it would go to the company and not you guys. So the Wealth Center, this is where we're going to add different mentorship programs and courses as far as passive investments, such as Airbnb, Turo, trucking, stocks, phone flipping, like any way you can imagine. I got a lot of friends of mine who are very successful in a multitude of different industries. So we're just working out the nuances to, figure this out, but it's coming up very, very soon. And also, I don't want to overwhelm everyone initially. A lot of this stuff is going to be rolling out over time or what have you. But if you go here to the membership area, is basically where clients can sign up. Starting off, we have 3 simple products. They can sign up and be a credit repair customer, and that's only $127 a month. We try to make this as affordable as possible. Clients are going to get free credit monitoring, identity monitoring. They don't have to worry about printing off letters. They don't have to mail off any letters. They have a client portal where they can keep track of their results. We have a customer service center that they'll be able to call into and actually get educated about the process as well. We have the virtual business credit coach and the live business credit coach. And I'll let Mark go more into detail upon those 2 products or what have you. But also, this is just basically what the client portal is going to look like. So after they sign up, become a credit repair customer or a business credit customer, they can go here and actually access their credit repair portal. Or if they're going to be if they're a business credit client, this is going to be their business credit portal. We have like the most advanced technology that takes a person from start to finish through the whole process of building and maximizing their business credit, and the virtual coach even helps along the way. So yeah, that's pretty much what the platform entails in a nutshell. We got a lot of other great things that are going to be coming out as far as like sales and marketing or what have you. Right now, I would say people just want to basically focus on having like a solid base on your page. Right now, you don't even want to probably focus on signing up a lot of people. We're going to try to just build up your pages organically. And then we're going to start teaching more advanced strategies on basically how you get clients coming to you on autopilot. Okay, so hopefully you guys got value from that. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring on the real man of the hour. This guy right here, guys, is like, you got so many people, right, that's on social media talking about business credit, getting access to business credit and funding. All these little financial gurus is popping up, right? What you guys don't know is Mark is like the mentor's mentor. He's been doing this for close to 3 decades, helping people structure business, get business credit, get access to funding, investing in a real estate. He like taught all the gurus, their mentors. You know, he's helped write out so many different, you know, like business plans and all the content that's really pushing the industry forward. You know, he's seen this, the evolution of it over 3 decades as well. So it's really a blessing to even be in partnership with him. You know, since we've met, we've built a pretty good relationship. He's an amazing guy. You know, he's also looking to, he's writing out a curriculum for kids. He's trying to put a financial literacy curriculum across the country for children to learn more about financial literacy and business and you know, different things of that nature. He's an amazing guy. It's awesome to have him on the call. Mr. Mark Sanderson, did you make it on the line okay?
Well, thanks, Daryl. It's always nice doing a call like this because Daryl compliments me on everything I do. So I kind of like that part. What I wanted to do tonight is just kind of give you some insights into the software and start showing you just how powerful it is. And the reason I like doing that is it really helps you see, and therefore it'll help you sell when you see it covers everything. And, you know, just everything is there for you. Let me start sharing my screen here. And, you know, the basis of the software is it comes in and I really focus on the first 4 steps. As soon as we start getting into step 5 and 6, hey, we're headed down an established business and looking to help the client, the customer on several items here. But what I want to show here is we come in, and this is the client's view, and they're able to come in, and there's this wonderful lady down here in the corner, and she's really, really smart, okay? And she can explain a lot of things to the customer, the client, but she can't answer questions in the same way. And so what you're going to find with the software is there's 2 paths. They can come in and they can have this virtual coach where there's recordings on every screen, or you can have me be their consultant where they can schedule calls with me. And we just start going down step by step through the whole process. And as you have the client come in, they're going to click on success scan result, or I'll click on it and I'll get the basic information that they've filled out. And kind of the power of the program is you're able to give away for free this whole first section here under complete compliance. And it comes with these wonderful little green checks and red X's. And red X's aren't necessarily bad. It just means that it's something that we need to work on or continue to work on. And so we just come down through. And some clients will come in with a business entity and it's ready to go. Others don't have that. And so look what the software does for you. It gives you access to several of the business creation companies, and you'll have access to the affiliate links here too. But it allows them to come in, and if they need to set up a business, I'll talk them through it. Let's say, you know, they're going to click on Inkfile and go in and set up the business. And then there's all this information here. And another great thing about the program is it tells you what not to do. And so I was helping someone just the other day, and we needed to back off because, you know, they'd used one of the kind of risky words. They'd used real estate in the name of the business. And so it takes you down through step by step and simple things. Hey, we need to have a business location. And the software tells us what kind of phone it is and if it's a business address. And so in talking with me or working through the software, one of the things to consider is it's all about what kind of risk a lender sees in your business. And if they see a residential business address, then that kind of sends off a flag saying, hey, there's risk here. And we probably don't want to lend to that business because it's going to be like all these other home-based businesses that have failed in the past. And so we just want to keep risk management as we go through. And then it's just step by step. We go in and yeah, we need to work on phone numbers. And so here's the links where they can get a business phone number. And we want to at least have a business or a landline here. And in many cases, it's even better to have a business line. And the reason being is a lender is going to check and see if your information is out there. And so we teach you how to go in and make sure your business is there for 411. And this is a good illustration. No one uses 411 anymore. You know, okay, I've been around 30 years, maybe 40 years, Hiram. And it used to be, you know, you'd pull out the phone and you'd say, I'm trying to find the phone number for this business, and you would call it. And 411 would tell you the phone number. Well, now we just go to the internet. But there's a lot of legacy things that are still out there that haven't changed yet. And so we just keep taking people through step by step, website and email, make sure that they have their EIN number, make sure that their business is set up with a bank account, because that's the real start date of when they're in business. And we just keep going down through. And an important field here is, you know, what we call corporate only facts. And really what we're interested in here is their personal credit scores. And this is an important concept because if they're just starting a business, okay, they may still have to guarantee things with their personal credit score. As the business grows, as they get a business credit score, then what we're able to do is go in and start doing business on the strength of the business, not just their personal guarantee. And so we want to start migrating away so that the business is independent of everything else. Okay. And so we just keep going step by step. And I admit anything called compliance doesn't sound like fun. And it's just, there can be some hard work here as we go through that. We'll take them in, and then we start getting into things that really adds value. Okay. Does anyone know how much you should have in your business bank account? Well, here's the ranking. And we want to have them get to the point where they at least have 10,000 in the bank, because that will give them a low 5 bank score. And that's important because it starts showing that the business is making money and they have enough in checking to, you know, make sure that cash flow is going and everything on that way. Okay, next step, we get into optimizer reporting. And with that, we want to check and make sure that the business is showing up and that Experian, CreditSafe, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet, first of all, knows about them. And then we want to take a look at what scores they might have. If your client is an existing business, then we want to see, okay, who knows about them and what scores? Have they paid things on time? And so we just get into that world of seeing what the business credit score is, and then we start entering what that information is. After we complete those 2 first steps of lender compliance and optimize reporting, then we're ready to really start working on the strategy. And we look at building credit. And so a huge strength of the software is it tells you who the starter vendors can be. And we're going to follow a tier system. Let me show you that real quick. Everyone probably starts a business as the tier 1 company. And that means that they're in compliance. They've successfully completed everything in that compliance section, that they have a DUNS number, an Experian number, and they've been in business for a month, and they have a business bank account. Well, the growth plan is we want to get people up to be at least a tier 3 and eventually a tier 4 so that they can start getting credit lines with some of the larger companies out there. And this is fun because this is where we strategize and start building out that path. And so the software starts us off with a focus on tier 1 companies. And you can kind of go down through here. And if I wanted to scroll down and I found an office supply store like Quill, well, this is great information. They're tier 1. They start with prepaid orders, but then you're going to move to a net 30 account, and they're going to report to Dun and Bradstreet. Okay, so every time we buy something with Quill, it's going to be reported to Dun and Bradstreet. But this is where the strategy comes in. This is where we start comparing things. If I buy something from Crown Office Supply, then they're smart enough to report to all 4 business credit bureaus. Okay, and that's where it really starts to come together, because every time I spend money with Crown, I get credit, so to speak, good business information to all 4 of the business credit bureaus. Okay, and so as I look at that, then we start going in, and let's suppose I have a client that's in real estate. They're doing fix and flips. Well, we can go in and we can start looking at all these different companies. You know, you're probably familiar with Floor and Decor, and then we get to Home Depot, we see Lowe's, and we start looking at Sherwin-Williams, but we want to build a plan from that. And that's where the consulting aspect, what I do, becomes important, because we start looking at things and we say, okay, you're currently at a starter position. Maybe we should look at these vendors here that give us tier 1. And so we have a great chance of being accepted. And then we keep track of who they report to. Okay, so I like, you know, if we needed shirts, then I like Shirtsy because they report to all 4. And then we start moving forward. We start looking at some tier 2 companies. And the goal is to identify all the companies that report and who they report to, so that we get a spread of, yeah, hey, I've got 5 companies reporting to Equifax. I have 5 companies to D&B and 5 to Experian. And even though some of the companies are the same, I get that benefit. You know, I may want to have HD Supply as a vendor because it pulls up another Equifax report. And, you know, Dun and Bradstreet's the original. They've been doing this for so long that there's a lot of vendors out there that have D&B, but we want to make sure we're pulling in Equifax and Experian vendors. And then as we have the business score set up, we're ready to start looking at funding. And so here in the demo account, what it's done is it gives us a nice little plus sign for anything that the client currently qualifies for. Okay, it's not a perfect qualification, but it gives us an indication. And in this case, by everything that they did in lender compliance, I can see that business credit cards is an option, an SBA loan, and unsecured financing are options. And this is where I would send them back to you to help them get that funding. You know, so you take them and have them fill out the FundWise form, and then we go through and we see what they can get that way and how that comes together. And so can you see that it's just so detailed? And we want to come through and get everything set up on the foundation. And then we just keep adding to it. We build the strategy. And then we start thinking, okay, I'm building credit here. I'm going to do initial funding. And that's going to prepare me to be ready for the next funding rounds, because there might be several rounds. So, hey, that's kind of the initial side. Anyone have any questions? Any comments come to mind, or how can I help you better understand this section?
I think it's very thorough and laid out. I like the fact that it gives you checks and balances, tell you when you're in the green and when you need to fix something. And the fact that you have the spreadsheet showing where all the different bureaus it's going to report to, that is helpful, because you don't want to waste your time through this process. And that's going to cut down on a lot of time. So I love it.
Definitely.
I will let you know.
You sure?
Yeah, I got it, so I have some, but I need someone else.
So, you know, any other questions are welcome, but let me show you a couple more things too. Okay, this is where you get into your admin account. And one of the things that's really powerful in the admin account is you get to see a lot of great information out there. And so the software is going to tell you what other companies are out there that can do funding even beyond what a Fundwise Capital can do. Okay. And so if I come over here and if I have a real estate client, well, I might be really interested in who loans to fix and flip and real estate investors. And so I just select that category and I'm going to do a search and I'm going to start seeing, oh, great. Here's 10 different companies that I can have a relationship with and send my clients to when they're starting to do real estate loans. You know, as we start to move into others, you know, whether it's equipment for sale and leasing, you know, going to SBA loans or the best credit unions, this is all information that you have access to kind of meet your clients where they are and what they're interested in doing as far as their business. And entrepreneurs are great because they're interested in everything. And this becomes your resource that you can pass on to the client to help them be successful in anything that they're looking at and doing. Okay, and let me show you one other thing. And what I found is a lot of companies overlook the access that they have here, but there's certain customers out there that will come in and they have a pretty good credit score. You know, the credit score has been improved, but they have a lot of inquiries that haven't been cleared off yet. And so what we do is, hey, if Fundwise isn't quite ready and they need 6 months to have inquiries come off or, you know, be it what it is, look at this kind of insider information where, you know, the software tells us that there's a credit union called Unify, and here's how they do personal loans. And then the strategy here is they only pull a credit score personally from Equifax. So if I'm looking at 3 signature loans at the same time, I can go to Unify and then, hey, here's First Tech Credit Union. They only pull from TransUnion. Okay, so when I get the credit pull from Equifax, they're not going to see that I'm asking for, you know, a loan from First Tech Credit Union. And oh, by the way, here's a Experian, you know, and NASA Federal Credit Union is kind of fun. I like sending people to NASA Federal because it's just kind of a fun credit union to be a part of. And you end up spending $20, $25, you know, just kind of joining them and getting a membership. But then, you know, they give you a signature loan. And so we can have 3 different credit unions that give signature loans, and they don't know about each other because they don't pull that credit score and they don't report. You know, so your loan with Unify Financial, hey, it shows up on your Equifax, but the credit union that only looks at TransUnion, oh, they're not going to know about that. And so you can get these personal funds that then are lent into the business, and we start doing the advanced strategies in the business where we come in and we actually have them come in and start looking at getting a CD business loan. And so let's suppose we moved 100,000 in and we went to Bank of America and we put $100,000 CD against that and then created a loan from there. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to be paying interest to Bank of America, but now I'm showing that a major bank in the United States has given us a $100,000 loan, and it starts building your business credit really quickly. You know, we can do smaller amounts, but that's kind of how you optimize the system. You put all the strategies together, and that's how we come up with things. So there's a lot more to it. I've tried to talk quickly here, hopefully not too fast, but that gives you a sense for just, wow, there's so much out there, and it's so powerful as you start looking at it and pulling it all together. How's that? That give you a good introduction, everyone?
Yes, you did.
That was amazing. That was amazing. If you guys show Mark some love, put some fire in the chat, or you guys can unmute the line. Just thank him for coming on tonight.
Thank you. That was dope. That was so
Yeah,
dope.
I sure appreciate it. I'm just getting off work, so I just
enjoyed
came
it.
in.
And so
I
how would
definitely
you
enjoyed
like,
it.
how would you like me talking to your clients the same way? I won't show them the back office stuff, but I'll take care of them as we go through that process.
Oh, that'd be excellent.
Imagine
Thank
doing that with them for a whole year. Like, what's the value of that? You know, like I say, there's really worth. Me and Mark done a lot of business. I've sent him. He's took care of a lot of my clients. I typically charge anywhere between 2,500 to 3,500. We're just looking to scale this thing. So, you know, we actually went down only $14.97. A person get full access to that system, and they get a dedicated business credit expert for a full year, doing everything with them for a full year. You know what I mean? To help them get maximum funding, 100,000, 250,000. And we also got the best services as far as helping people optimize their personal credit. So, you know, a lot of people will be in position to win majorly.
Yeah, and the reason I talk about a year is we're going to do a lot of stuff up front. You know, that first month can be kind of busy, and then we kind of go to making progress. And then after, you know, 4 or 5 months, then I just want them telling me how wonderful they're doing and how they're making money and how they've got income coming in. They now have a balance sheet. And then, you know, we talk about once a month because that's all they need, because we're tracking their business credit score and they're moving forward with their business. So.
Absolutely. You guys have any other questions for Mark?
And so the reason I love you guys is I don't have to do marketing. And I really appreciate that. You know, Daryl sends me clients, I put them, they have my access to my schedule, and we just keep going forward that way. I don't have to work on my web pages. So. Okay, anything else I can answer for y'all?
You want to, okay.
I have a question. So I know this varies probably per client, but what's the average time that you get somebody from point A all the way up to funding? I know it varies, right? But what's an average?
You know, it's kind of a function of, has their personal credit score gotten to where they need to be? And then how dedicated are they? And so the thing to remember, that first section, that compliance section, if they're dedicated, you know, in a couple hours, they can knock everything out there. And then, you know, we help them with their, you know, get set up so the business credit bureaus know about them. And so we could be looking at 2 or 3 weeks and they're able to apply for that startup funding with Fundwise. Okay. And the thing there is, once they get the money, then we have to work together, so to speak, to make sure that they're coming back in and working on the net 30 accounts, that just getting money isn't where they stop, but that we keep moving forward. And so with a solid credit score in a few hours, then we can get them up and ready to go. A challenge can be the website. Okay, there's a lot of good, simple website builders out there, you know, and that might be a couple hours there, or they need to get some help from someone on Fiverr or another service. But you know, that path is to getting to apply is pretty fast. And then you need to give Fundwise 3 to 5 weeks for them to do everything. You know, so we're talking 4 to 8 weeks for someone that comes in prepared and is willing to do things quickly. And then we start working on the strategies and making everything custom. And that takes a little bit of time there.
You want to speak a little bit on the time frame of those accounts aging once they start the net 30s?
Yes. And so typically the vendors report once a month, and then the credit bureaus, the business credit bureaus, look at it, you know, another month, or, you know, whatever time period in the month. So it can take 2 months, sometimes 3 months before we start getting, you know, that good expense data, you know, reporting to the business credit bureaus. So kind of think of the process here. The client has to go out and they have to buy something. And then they're going to pay that invoice. And typically they're going to pay it, 10 days early for a Dun & Bradstreet client. So, day one, I buy it, 20 days later, I pay for it. And then that company reports it, and the business credit bureaus then add it to their information. So there can be some time in there. So typically I talk about it being a developmental process that takes 5 or 6 months. And we start tracking that business credit score as we go. But yeah, you can get money faster than you can build your business credit score. That answer?
So much for sharing with us. Yes, that does answer it. And I'm happier that you're explaining it instead of us to our clients. So thank you again.
Yes. And, remember, I have fun with this. This is fun to me.
Yeah, the cool part about it is that a lot of times clients, they're just gonna need someone to like hold their hand throughout the whole process. If they don't have the money to pay for it, the live coaching, we can still just offer them the virtual coaching. We're probably gonna have an upgrade option, because most of those people are gonna come back with questions like, okay, I don't want to do this by myself. I need a coach. So that's kind of just a gateway in. So we can just throw in there, okay, you can't afford that, do the $497 and we'll upgrade you, because 99% of them, they're not going to get through the process by themselves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing with entrepreneurs, is sometimes they get excited about something and then they see something else and they spin off to it. So like I had a call earlier today where it's been 3 months since we've talked. But with the software and the sequence and everything, wow, we're just back to work immediately, and they know what they need to do next. So.
Absolutely. Any other questions for Mark? I think he probably could take about one or two more questions.
Hey, Darrell, could I show one other thing?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me make sure I got it pulled up here. Yeah, I think it's important for you to realize just how big of an impact we can have on people, because they come into things and they think their business idea is fantastic. And indeed, it may be fantastic, but they need to do just a little cash flow analysis. And so I've built this simple calculator. And let's make some guesses here. Let's suppose that they're not putting any of their own money in it, and they're not reaching out to investors, but they've got a $100,000 loan, and they have this new product idea, but it's going to take them a little bit to get packaging and shipping, distribution, everything set up, and then to start advertising. And so 4 months out, they get their first sales. Let's suppose they get 100 sales. And then they start ramping up. Hey, what a great business. They have 200, 500, 1,000. And we start looking at estimating 7,500 sales, just a year out. And let's suppose the price is $50 and that they're making a 35% margin on everything that they sell. After all of their expenses, they're left with 35% profit. We feel pretty good about that. And then we start adding some monthly costs. Well, hey, they're paying rent of $10,000. They have $750 in utilities, and they have wages and their marketing expense and systems and a few other things. And so this is where I kind of call it the valley of death, because we look at this and what a great business this could have been if they didn't run out of cash in month 3, and all of a sudden they get everything going and sales start rising, but they ran out of cash before they could really start making money because they needed to make it to month 10. So kind of a sad story here. But the thing is, if you start looking at it, in advance, then we start knowing that, oh, I really need 200,000 to start. And with that, I'm going to cut it pretty close, and probably closer than I should plan on it. But hey, this valley here, before I start making money, I never run out of cash. I may get down to 10,000, but I'm doing things. And that's where you can kind of go in and start playing around and, you know, really start looking at the business from the front end. And I think this is kind of what Daryl and I are planning with some of the ongoing coaching to, you know, really talk about what people need and where they are and how we can help them where they are. And even, you know, just to know how much cash they need to start the business. So hopefully that was helpful too.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, like I always say, credit not gonna solve a cash problem, right? You can get all the credit in the world. At some point, your business actually gotta be profitable in a sense. So that's also something that we have coming to actually help businesses with sales and marketing as well. Because once you get that together, like that's how you can really build a 7-figure business.
Yep.
Emmanuel, were you trying to say something? Looks like your line is muted out.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, you know, I'm just not starting. And you know, I don't know nothing about creating no business or how it starts and everything. I came like probably about 10 or 15 minutes late, but I was listening. That's why I wasn't saying anything. But say, for instance, I had a brand, I had the logos, I got the sauce, and I got a model that's already made, and I just wanted to sell the business. How would I go about doing it?
You want to set up the business or sell the
No,
business?
sell the business.
How much revenue does a business make per month?
Well, pretty much I've just not got it, and I ain't even started to open it up. I've been pretty much, I'm not gonna lie, I sell certain plates and stuff like on Facebook and stuff like that right there. So I make probably like about 500 a day.
Typically, Mark can back me up on that. Like investors, for the most part, they're going to look at how much cash flow you're bringing in on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Specifically in like the last 90 days, it just depends on like the profit margins and like how well you have the business structured. A good part about Mark as well, what he didn't mention is he actually get business to the point where they can actually have a valuation upon like selling equity shares or selling their business as whole as well.
Okay.
And when you're looking for investors, there's got to be a reason why. So you're going to say, hey, if you're going to give me $1 million, this is how we make 10 million from it. There's always got to be a reason why we need the cash. You know, so if I get a loan from the bank for 100,000, how can I turn that into 500,000 of profits? And with an existing business, hey, pulling in 500 a day, that's fantastic. You know, I start looking at that like 120,000 a year. And then I want to know what the margin is. And then I want to know how much makes it into my bank account. And, you know, just like Daryl was saying, hey, I need that to be shown for 90 days, 180 days before I can start thinking of franchising that.
Okay. You know, you have good days and bad days too.
Always. We always do.
Yeah.
But that's why we're entrepreneurs. We're optimistic, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I know I'm just not starting. So, you know, I'm trying to do things not like on my own, but you know, you can't do things by yourself. Everybody needs some help.
Oh, everyone. I mean, there's only so many hours a week, and I've tried the 70, 80 hours a week kind of to work lifestyle, and that just doesn't last for very long, at least for me. So yeah, you got to have a team. If you have a really good idea, you need a team.
Because, you know, the job I'm at, it only gives me 2 hours a day, and you can't do nothing with 2 hours a day, man.
No.
Yeah.
Well, good. Daryl, what's our next step tonight?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, we can pretty much wrap everything up. I do want you to touch on the curriculum for school children that you want to eventually do. I was telling some of the team members about that. If you don't mind touching on that.
Yeah, that's fine. And it's kind of often an experience I had. One of my friends, he has his kid. Well, I guess he's graduated by now, but his son went to a charter school, and it was a little bit different because they went to school through the summer and had winters off because they were all in winter sports. So they were skiers and snowboarders and ice skaters and things like that. And they brought in a business teacher that was supposed to start at the beginning of summer. And all of a sudden the business teacher canceled on him. And so me and 4 or 5 of my buddies, we got together and I built out a curriculum so that they learned how to be entrepreneurs for, a whole semester. And then we kind of followed a Shark Tank model, where we brought in a couple investors and had them present. And that was a really good experience. And it was kind of interesting to me because, we had 30 kids in this class, and probably only 10 really got it or wanted to put time into it. For others, it was just credit. And so it's always interesting to me if we could create a path where we can make that accessible to the 10 kids that really want to have that and move forward. And so I'm probably halfway done in rebuilding that curriculum and making it something that I would love just to be shared out there and have it be a parent-children type setup. But one of the clients that I talked to earlier today, it's kind of fun. He's up in New Jersey, and he's got a tile business that he's running on the side. So he has his day job and he's doing nights and weekends installing flooring. Well, he wants to build that business up. But what's great is he's got a 16-year-old son attending every one of our phone calls. And so it becomes a great teaching and learning experience because his eyes are being opened at age 16. And I think that's extremely valuable as we go forward to make sure we're protecting our kids, the next generation, and teaching them things that we wish we had when we were young. So that's the goal. I'd love to get some curriculum out there that's just open source that people can use that and keep going forward that way. So.
Awesome. That's amazing. And, we're going to try to see what we can roll out together with that. I actually want to have a nonprofit sector with the Infinite Freedom so we can, help the children. That's the future for sure.
And I'm not feeling as young as I used to be. So, having something where I can leave some things behind, that starts getting more and more important.
Yeah, you're getting up there, man. You just turned 30, right?
I look bad for 30. I might look better, but I still feel pretty young. How's that doing?
Yeah, listen, we got a long ride. This is Infinite, man. We got another good 60. We got a nice 60-year run in this thing. Sure. Let's get it for sure. Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this call. Thank you guys for joining. Definitely light up the chat right now. This is what I want you guys to do. Light up the Facebook Messenger chat, right? So all the people that aren't on right now, we got like 100 affiliates. We had like 30 show up tonight. Light up the Facebook Messenger chat. Just tell them how awesome this call was to make sure they hop on next time, okay? But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of other great trainings. We're going to be building this thing out with Mark. The ultimate goal is just to help every client and, all of us as well achieve our goals and make a lot of money and have a big impact, okay? So this is an infinite ride. I want to pass this down to my great grandchildren, to be honest with you. Wealth ain't going nowhere. So we're going to keep building this out, infinite wealth. So thank you guys for joining. Y'all have a great rest of your evening. And definitely thank you for taking time out your night, Mark, to come drop those gems on us.
Always fun. I enjoy this. Thanks, Darryl.
Yes, sir. You have a good one. Talk to you guys soon.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Mark.